Here we are back in the studio on Sunday. It's a little windy out there. I'm Callie Francois, back with Keith Fustel. Tim and Dan put on a really nice morning show yesterday, so we'll see if we can have an answer to that. But taking a look, the track is fast. We're on the turf today, on the Laurel lawn today. The turf is good. Chilly, a little bit chillier. That was such a nice. We got such a spoil yesterday, Keith.
Yeah. Maybe winter is upon us. We're seeing the next few days. It's going to be a little chilly in the Mid-Atlantic region. I think we're going to get some lows in the evenings in the high 20s. So not looking forward to that. But
Nope.
yeah, thanks again to Dan Illman and Tim. Dan does a great job when he comes down here. If you don't get the racing form, definitely check out his analysis of the races. He said we see the game a lot alike. I spent a little time talking to him yesterday, but kind of way we go about our handicapping very similar. So it's good to kind of
It's good to have a
some
fresh
kind
face
of
in the mix of things, other than us three.
yeah, that is true, and he brings a good insight. Sometimes
He does.
you once you're kind of in it and you're here day in and day out. He's on it day in and day out. You just kind of get a little, I don't know.
Fresh perspective.
Yeah, it gets a little stale sometimes.
Yeah.
You got to kind of get a fresh face and a fresh opinion in there.
Absolutely. So with that, let's get going on our Sunday card here today. Starting with this claiming 16 for the girls, which is number 1, 2 on the turf. We stick on the turf a scratch with the 5, the 8, 13, 14, 15, and 16. That leaves us both on the number 9, chrome-plated heart, Justin Nix and Sheldon Russell. I'm a huge fan of this filly, so they're giving her the big drop.
Well, I saw Justin Nixon on the way out of here last night. He stopped me. He said, "Hey, I'm a big fan of the Colt, and Ian Asbury, and all that stuff. So you know what? That's good enough for me to pick his horse. She's going to be a short price. Attack mode here. She's got some speed. She had a little help. Mayayas, who I thought was going to be a horse that would send away and maybe be a little bit of a nuisance. She's gone. She's out of here. And even the 5 horse looked like it might have a little juice to kind of keep things – I
don't love her on the
honest
lead,
early,
though.
but I think chrome-plated heart can kind of go ahead and dictate. Even if somebody wants to go inside, she can spy the speed. She's running against much better.
Go. I don't love her on the lead. I like it when I really loved her when she broke her. I love her anyway, but I really enjoyed when she broke her maiden. I love the way that she did that. So hopefully we have some speed on the inside that's going to give her just something to look at, something to just clock right off of. We both go with the number 7 just to the inside. America's Woman, Donnie Barr, William Humphrey gets the call. Just missed it last time out, so let's see if we can get that going again. But that's pretty. To me, this is a pretty straightforward race here today, Keith.
Well, I don't know if anything's straightforward, Callie, when you're dealing with a turf course. We haven't been on in a while. It's got some moisture in it. It's rated as good. So how they're going to take to it remains to be seen. I think America's Woman, you make a good point. She came back, got to her maybe preferred surface, ran a big run from off the pace, got a good trip. She looks like the legitimate, trustworthy closer. She's going to be much shorter than that 30-1 last time.
Yes.
But it gets a little flow taken out of here. I think she closes. I think Ghostly Knight is back to doing what she needs to do, and that's sprinting on the turf for a barn that's kind of getting it back together a little bit. But chrome-plated heart, it's that time of year. These trainers take the attack mode in this region with these turf horses. So we'll see if she can get it done at a short price. I think the road definitely is going to go through her when they hit the top of the stretch.
And that's just it. Before the Christmas tis the season, this is tis the season of these turf drops as we can so see it. But race number 2 starts. The early pick 4. Keith has a ticket that he's got lined up. How do we play it today, Keith?
Yeah, we got off the schneid the other day, huh? Didn't pay much, but we'll take it. A win's a win, right?
Right.
Okay, $24 is the magic number. Again, 2-4 to get you started. Victorian Riviera and Lunar Ice. Lunar Ice off that trouble trip last time. We'll take those 2 to get you started. Race 3, a little spread. Here, Callie, with the 2, 3, 6, and 9. Maybe Tidewater is a sneaky pace play in there. Race 3, race 4. Devilish Affair, Marvelous steady as she goes. And wrap it up, race 5, with the 2, 3, and 7. We've got a couple races on this card where I wrote at the top of the PPs, wide open. We've got a few of them, and we're going to have to get through them with limited picks. So $24 is that early pick 4 ticket.
That's where I struggled a little bit in my pick 6. We'll get into that in a couple of minutes. But this race number 2 maiden claiming a mile and 16th on the dirt. Keith, you land on the number 2, Victorian Riviera, who will be pulling from the rail. We've got a video spotlight from last time out of this run that Carlos Lopez put a really nice run on, to be a really nice ride on.
Yeah, the blinkers went on. A jump up off the claim, off debut. really ran a good race. This was our value play that afternoon. It just
Mm-hmm.
couldn't get there, Callie. It's 7-1, a steady progression, grind, 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 and couldn't catch Scintillating Star, but nonetheless, it was a good effort. And I like this another jump right back up in class. Gets the inside draw. She has some tactical speed. Maybe she's not quite as fast as Milady Thatcher, Miss Maisel, but I think Victorian Riviera will get good position. Talking about Dan, I told him yesterday, I said, you know what, we run into some similar stats. When I go back, I'll kind of check his stuff out sometimes.
Yeah.
I said, I think I might have stole one from you for today. Dale Cap, last 2 years on the dirt, 4 for 8. That's 50% for your good mathematicians. 8 for 8 in the money. That's pretty strong. With maiden sprint to route, ROI of
Pretty strong. That's
240.
100%.
Yeah, so you might not want to leave Victoria and Riviera out of the money.
Definitely not. So with that, and with all that information, I went ahead with Milady Thatcher.
Okay.
I think this is the barn on a whole is up the upswing. And on top of that, off of a short sampling, Lacey got at 6 for 22 from that sprint to route as of late. To top that off, that's 10 for 22 in the money sprinting to route. So I think this is the right move for this filly, just really basing off of that.
I agree. This is an easier kind of group than what she's been kind of thrown to of recent note. The flow should be a lot more comfortable to her.
Yes.
Hence, she should stretch that speed a little bit further. At Lunarites, you got to go back. Look at that last race. It's kind of put into a tight spot, bumped around heading to the turn.
Right.
It just completely threw her off her game. She dropped back. She'll be back forward again in here. Real gritty try the try before that.
A couple, and we're going to get a couple. It's going to be an interesting shakeup between the 2 and the 7 because I think they're both going to be giving, as you said, gritty efforts. We're going to see gritty efforts out of both of those, so we'll see how that plans out. But we go from a maiden 30 to a maiden special weight,
All right.
9 furlongs on the turf instead of on the dirt. We go on the turf today. We stick to it. Yeah, you said it.
Maze of a race.
Right there, maze of a race. So we both see. I don't even have the 2 on top, but Tidewater, Tony Aguirre. That was a nice effort last time out. My only thing that I have is that I would have loved to see a little bit more. And now I understand it's the end of the season. You want to try and go long, but for me, for a young horse, you really, especially coming out of a barn like TJ's, solidify things. Have a nice runner going before you try and stretch them out going long. That's my only thing.
Yeah, maybe it's a little bit of a reach. I thought this guy ran really well in debut.
Yes.
Big price. X-Man took a snug hold early, a good rating hole, and he was as he was progressing around the turn, he had to kind of sit there. I think he wrote like tap the brakes around the turn. Found room late, altered out, and finished up well. The family is kind of what put me over the top to use this horse as a value shot in here. Full to Benny Havens.
Yes.
We've seen Benny Havens be able to kind of make that stalking, get that stalking trip, make a move, and keep going. There's another horse in the family, a half brother, I think, went up to a mile and 3/8
Right.
and was competitive. So I look at the race, comes out of a really fast early part, okay, 22 and 45 and 2. You're looking at the fields. A couple of these horses coming out of races where they were walking the dog early and then sprinting home. Maybe Tidewater can get out there, relax a little bit. Doesn't necessarily have to be on the lead, but hopefully this breeding kicks in. I would have liked to see one more race, Callie, but we'll take a shot. Maybe this is kind of forcing their hand this time of year. Take the shot. He's probably going to be better off, I think, going maybe a mile. But we'll see if he can get this distance today.
That's right. I agree with you on everything, which is just why I have this horse underneath and why you have the horse as a bit of a value play in this race.
Yeah.
So that's the 2. Let's take a look at the 7 who I am underneath for the Brittany Russell. Normally, so Brittany Russell isn't quite strong. She isn't the strongest in her first time on the turf. However, I like the accelerate in this filly. I just think I'm taking a stab with that breeding of accelerate. We're going off of a very short sampling, but I just think everything kind of works setting up for this.
I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna come clean. I put the wrong number down because Alvy's a main track only.
Oh, there we go.
Okay,
that's right.
The 9 was my 4th selection. So
that's
I couldn't read my writing this morning. I'm
Nope,
sorry. Prowling Tiger should be 4th for me. So it's 2, 4, 5,
Same.
9.
That's.
But you gave a good analysis of Alvy moving forward.
I have 9 on top because I was just going off of the screen. I'm like, wait a second.
Okay.
So no, Heath has the 9 underneath. I have the 9 on top. So the 9 Prowling Tiger, Arnaud Delacour, Georgie Rose. There we go. Very good. Yeah. Okay, so here we go from TJ Aguirre, who's stretching this horse out, to a trainer who's so very strong in that in these first time turf routes
Oh, with
specifically.
Delacour, yeah.
Exactly. So
Okay.
you have Arnaud Delacour, who's 5 for 23, second time on the route. The Kitten's Joy of Fleet Alex, the breeding suggests as well. And it was a nice go last time out, just sitting right off of the pace and trying to make a run off of it.
Yeah, I don't know what I did there. 2639. Did I
It's
just not?
our graphics that made a little hiccup, but they're gonna fix everything. So Keith Fustel goes.
Oh, it came. I see
Yep.
what it did.
So
I
two
see
six
what it
three
did.
nine. Yep. So you go 2 6 3 9. I go 9
Well,
3 10 13 on that. Let's go ahead and kick on over.
I got a good note.
Well then
Coda
give us
Kings,
the notes.
real quick. I think
Yep,
another horse is
absolutely.
going to go off at a little bit of a price.
Yep.
For Trombetta. It was bet down to 2-1 last time. Was dead flat. Never picked it up. There's some turf breeding in the family. Was wide every step of the way. Blinkers go on today. You're going to get a better price. So Coda Kings, I will throw into the mix. So yeah, 2639. I hope I put that in right.
You did.
I probably didn't.
No,
but
you
that's-
did. You
Okay.
did. We just had a little hiccup
right.
with our graphics, but they will get that.
not
all
the end of the
sorted.
world.
It's not the end of the world. So let's
Okay.
go ahead to race number 4 in that starter allowance. 7 furlongs on the dirt. You go with the number 5 on top, Devilish Affair, for Rudy Sanchez, Solomon, Angel Cruz. I believe we have a video spotlight coming up on Devilish Affair. If we could just bring that up by chance. But until then, oh, there we go. Perfect. Keith,
Yeah,
take it away.
this was a drop down for Norman Cash from Open 8. A big effort. You always worry, big effort. You go into the condition. Yeah, they wanted to get the win, but this is a mare that's capable of a little bit better. So it'll be interesting to see. They turn her around fairly quickly. Bump her up in class, little protect move. You're going to see her. She was kind of up behind rivals the 5 horse this day. Had to steady a little bit. Comes to the quarter pole. Going to wait a little bit, and works her way out to go ahead and run down Shiny Penny, who got that rail bid to go clear. It's a good run from Devilish Affair. She's got tactical speed at 7/8 of a mile, and this is a barn kind of on the protect move. This kind of level, they hit at a pretty good clip with an ROI of closer to 4 when I kind of extrapolated everything. So yeah, good finish there. There is some speed in here. Nothing huge that I think is really going to get away from Devilish Affair.
Correct.
I think she's a little bit more tactical than Marvelous. Maybe into this new barn she jumps up and proves a little bit. She's going to have to prove a little to beat Marvelous, who got a great setup last time out in the Maryland. They went hot and heavy
She
early
did. Yeah.
to test it, and boy, she just relished that and rolled past late. But I'll take a Devilish Affair for a little bit of an upset.
Definitely, but I do go with Mavlis. She's actually I really enjoy this filly in this spot. Just kind of just checking back to the spot, the starter allowance. That's kind of her bread and butter. She really just seems to relish that type of trip. The only thing that I could have going against her is, well, this actually I love the 7 furlongs for this filly because I don't like. At first, I thought we were going 2 turns. I don't like her for the 2 turns. I really think this distance really hits this filly dead center as far as what type of distance that she likes. So I think she's going to be getting that today. So Keith Fusel 5 6 2 8. I go 6 8 9 2. Race number 5 starts the Rainbow Pick 6. We have a carryover that didn't hit last time out, and this carryover keeps climbing up. If we could just get that board up from the carryover, and I also have a ticket lined up, but that carryover 29,679. That's going to be climbing by the time the gates open for race number 5. My ticket, here we go. I singled in on Mavelis. Excuse me, I go 5 7 12. I go a bit wide. The 12 Ray Handle Kemba draws in. And this is where you mentioned, Keith, we get wide. They just get so competitive in these races today. So race number 6 and 7 is when I go wide, and I go double down in the last couple of races for a $48 ticket. But let's kick on to race at number 5, this claiming 16, which have never won 3.
Okay.
A mile and 16th on the turf. Scratch the 6, 13, 14, and 15. That leaves you with the number 2 on top, Glossamer, who I have just underneath Lynn Ashby, Alexander Crispin. Made a nice effort in the Maryland Million starter handicap last time out. Just there was a bit more moxie at the end there in some of the field.
Yeah, I probably should have thrown the 12 in as well, outer post, but this has shown the ability to kind of run into it. So, yeah, 12 will be used in my exactas. And I talk about on days like this, guy, before I move forward, you got our picks up there. I saw a guy who was up at Greenmount Station last night, one of our OTBs, and he says, oh, you had a couple winners. I said, yeah. I said, but how are those exacta boxes? That's how we play the picks here.
Yes.
I'll tell you if I really like a horse to win. This is a race here. A lot of these races, they box the exactas. That's the first play.
It's my favorite bet.
If you've got value within them, then go ahead. So, anyhow, Glossamer. We talking about Glossamer?
We are talking about Glossamer.
Glossamer goes outside to inside. It's a move that I love. 11 post back inside to the 2-0. Made an early move into a very quick pace. Had to be used a couple times. I think this horse has shown the ability to pair up races. Ashby's been good year in and out with these turf horses coming in. I think you're going to get better value. Pounding Music, Pounding Music got the better of her last time. Had a perfect trip to Pounding Music. Great ride by Yomar. But Glossamer offers value. Kind of sit chilly. Has to be patient. Don't move till about the 3/8 and let things develop from there.
Absolutely. I go, so that, which brings us to your second selection and the one that I have on top, Pounding Music. Stellar effort last time out. It can't escape from that. So hoping for a repeat performance there. The number 12 draws in. Kemba for Ray Handel. Javian Toledo gets the call. This one has had some, just keeps knocking on the door. Keeps knocking on the door up there in New York. Finally, Ray just says, let's just give this horse got a little bit of a break. Tried again. It wasn't quite there. Let's see if we can steal on the front. This horse has the ability to come off of the pace and go to the front. There's just a lot that this horse has to offer, and just tries and comes down to Maryland and steal one.
Well, you've got to. I think Dixie Cannon with the blinkers on. It looks like her best races on the turf are going to be on or just off the lead. She's got a little pest to her outside, and Please Marry Me that likes to just go ahead and go. So I definitely think Kemba, you're going to see this horse draft in a little bit, take a rating hold. Has shown the ability to come 4 or 5 out of it. I'll go 2-7-3. I think Foxtrot Seville definitely can make a run at a price, and even Mo Fire just to save ground and just steadily grind. I'm looking for some prices in race number 5.
You might be getting them in race number 5. Race number 6 is also might set up a little bit that way as well. In this more cheaper maiden claiming 12.5, 5.5 on the dirt, but we go in a couple of different directions. You go with the number 4, Seems to Whisper. Mike Trombetta, Johan Rosado on top, switching over to the dirt this time at 19%, not doing too bad at that stat recently, Keith.
Yeah, Freud is okay. There, always you see Freud, and you say the stat, and you're going to see turf. But going back and looking, he's about 10-11% with the dirt runners. The second dam was a graded stakes winner on the dirt. 13% actually with the dirt sprints was Freud. And turf to dirt, this kind of move, the maidens has been good. There's dirt in this family. I'm a little, quite confused why this horse hasn't seen the dirt. I'm not too thrilled with anybody else in the field that's run here in these sprints on the dirt. So there's a fresh face in the 4, Seems to Whisper. I think Poet of My Heart. You have Poet of My Heart. Has been against the grain of the racetrack both times.
Yes.
A stumble, a bump. A little bump and match down into the turn last time and lost all interest against the grain. That was a stone cold rail day. Was called out 5 wide. Owners, actually, they were up there at Greenmount. Nice people. It was happening. If you get a chance to go up there, go up there. But anyhow, I think this horse has enough speed to get position. Jock-trainer combo is good. So Podemar, they're going to be aggressive. This is the time. Go ahead and try to send it and go as far as you can. On or just off the lead, I think, though, for this one.
Right, absolutely. And then we both have. I just put in Tonka Tough underneath Courtney Young. I've just going off. I think we're going to get to see a bit of improvement. He raced 3 back on the 12th of August at Laurel. That was an okay effort, so we dropped down. We find a little bit easier company. We'll see what they do. We'll see what Forrest does on this one this time out, but we both also Tap and Glow.
Yeah.
I think you just, Tap and Glow. You have underneath, we're talking about a drop down, giving this horse a bit of a chance. We go from Toledo to Sheldon. This is just the right spot for this filly today.
Yeah, if Victorian Riviera does well early, it might flatter the chances, right, of Tap and Glow. Brittany Russell ran a lot of horses today, and it seems like every race she's got one has got one that's live. So I think we'll maybe take a little further back. Doesn't really want to get in an early duel because I think Ashara might be a little quicker. Poet of My Heart, kind of sit back and make that rating move, take a rating hold, and try to circle and get it done. 4-1-8-3 and 6 commercial break or no?
Yes, commercial break. 8-1-6-3 commercial break. We will be right back to talk about the rest of the card.
We're ready for the start. They're off.
back to talk about the remaining 3 races on this card, starting in race number 7. This claiming 25 number win 2, a mile and 16th here on the turf. Keith, we go. This race, This is a race where I went 5 wide on my ticket. We somehow both land on the number 11, which makes me feel a whole lot better with Dracon. Brittany Russell, Fergal Lynch takes the call on this one. This was just an easy win last time out. This horse won for fun. This gelding won for fun last time out, so finds just a really nice, easy spot to see a repeat performance of that again.
He got a great trip. He did. And
Yes.
the blinkers came off last time, and this guy rated really kindly for Fergal Lynch, was able to save ground. There was a little bit of a contested pace early, but, man, when he worked outside, a big run to go away. So proving at the mile-eighth distance, that's key for me.
He didn't even need to tap that horse.
Yeah.
That was a hand ride coming up there. So again, we're going to, just with how easy that one did it last time, even though we have some ship-ins down here, I just couldn't deny Dracon as well. But you go with just to the outside. The other Brittany Russell horse, Rocket, won with the blinkers on this time for Sheldon Russell. Good move with the blinkers on. I think this one needs it this time. Coming from Belmont, tried without the blinkers for the first time with Brittany Russell, and that didn't work. Throw the blinkers on, see what we can get out of this one.
Yeah, the blinkers on move on the turf for Brittany, that's been like, she's got a lot of positive stats. Unfortunately, that one hasn't been a good one. I'm not going to even go into what it is.
Right.
But Rocket 1 maybe needs a little bit more focus to follow through. I think his run against a little bit better. That one works. So she's live with a couple horses in here. I've got the one, Bailout, 1 for 30. But 11 seconds, 4/3. There's not a whole lot of pace in this race when I look at it. This horse is fresh.
Okay.
Has keyed up against the right kind. The second place finisher at Colonial last time out has come back to run big.
Sure.
Won an allowance at Hawthorne. So Bailout with Suarez should be forwardly placed and kind of grinds it out to the wire. This is a wide open race. Pursuing Pace, the 10, has at least shown he can kind of go into it. The flow's a little slower.
Yep.
He can make a run into it for Robbie Bales.
And I go with Mr. Connecticut underneath, Christophe Clement, Jaime Rodriguez. I like this matchup between Rodriguez and Clement. They're actually Jaime Rodriguez and Christophe Clement on the turf recently, 7-4-11. 64 win percentage when these two team up on the turf, and then 100. They're 100% in the money on the turf together, Jaime Rodriguez and Christophe Clement. So going straight off of that, of course, dropping this down from maiden special weight at Aqueduct. This horse is given that for sale sign. I got to put Tate on underneath just because he's a horse that's always knocking on the door. You can't trust him to win, but you don't want to leave him off of your ticket either. And I also include Pursuing Pace as well. Race number 8 is this allowance optional. A mile and 16th on the dirt. We have a video on both our top selections, our shared top selection. Sophia's Secret for Brittany Russell, Sheldon Russell. It's going to be a Russell day today, maybe.
It certainly could be. They could get ready, get their picture taken quite a few times. But Sophia's Secret, third time off the break, and this was what I think they were really looking for her. 3 deep, and not the easiest place to be. The track was carrying speed pretty good this afternoon, but, man, just brings a determined finish. It's a battle all the way to the wire, beating next out winners in Glow City, Marvelous, horses that run, credible numbers for this level. So I tell you, the determination she shows, so she's going to be able to save ground today, not being called out there 3 wide the whole trip. She's going to have to get a little position early because My Girl and a couple of these other horses will try to go forward. So the key is, Sheldon, get through that opening quarter and get position. Give her a little bit of a breather down the backside. I don't think they're going to run away from her and then go ahead and bring that finish. Second Dam was a hard-knocking New York bred. He carried her speed long on the turf. So I can see why they kind of tried the turf early on. But, man, she's really blossoming right now. I like the fact that she gets a perfect draw with that positional speed and heart to take it to the wire.
And a nice 48-1 work right after that to really just kind of zuzz things up a little bit with Sophia's Secret. Absolutely. We both go with the number 2, Intrepid Dream underneath. This is also just a super solid filly. Gets back to a fast track where those numbers, so it's a bit of a, I don't want to.
It's a little bit of a guess to see if she's going to
exactly.
bring that fig
there
back
we go.
on a
I guess
fast
I was
track.
trying to figure out the word for that. Thank you. But yeah, guess to see if she's still keeping that fast track form, but with these improving numbers off of the break.
Yeah, and Gary's always been, year in and year out, usually better second off some time.
Correct.
So that
Actually,
bodes
yes.
well. And that horse that ran 4th in there at Delaware had won 4 straight and against the right kind as well. So, yeah, Gary Cap. Well, you got a little stat here? Gary
Yeah,
Cap
a little
second?
stat because I know Gary's was second after the layoff and second time starter. So Gary is 7 for 22, second after the layoff. Win percentage, 32 win percentage, and 12 for 22 in the money. So it's just a nice setup there. So you have these two boss fillies that are just going to be duking it out. That's going to be a fun race to watch at the last eighth of it. You go 1, 2, 5, 8. I go 1, 2, 6, 8. So we both like the 8 as well. But the number 9, race number 9, the nightcap for today, is this maiden claiming 30, 6 furlongs on the dirt. You go with the number 5 on top, Billicus for Jerry Robb, Xavier Perez. Love the name for a gelding, but a nice, interesting, went for it, but then just really didn't have enough in the tank to be in.
Yeah, throwing the towel early. Scratch the 10. Guapaness was going to take plenty of play in here, so take out the 10. Leaves us with a field of 9 in the night. Yeah, chased really fast fractions, and that was it. So that race under the belt, quick drop, maiden special weight, maiden claimer's been good. Second out's been good with Rob. We'll see how far he can take it.
Right.
I think he's going to be able to clear this field and go a long way in here, and you're going to get I think an okay price. Might slip through the cracks. I think, well, the 4, we've got a video, right, of the 4's race?
We do.
Okay, let's show that real quick. I know we're running a little short of time. Interesting that you've got a Calbred. There it is. A little fractious in the gate. Also a little bit of a hop there and tries to get position right there. Just the slightest hop, awkward beginning, but was acting up slightly prior to that. So you said that a little sluggish, but you got the Calbred leaving Cal. And you know, I guess all that breeding stuff. And coming east, Source makes kind of a decent run. I was looking for maybe late breaking blinkers on Victim of the Night, but we're not getting that today, right? But 5, 6 wide, circling up, makes a little bit of a run before flattening out, and then just kind of picks it up again. Very green. This horse needed this race, the long ship. Second place finisher came back to run okay, a 55 buyer. We know this barn, Mike Juralis. Man, anything that gets in this barn seems to improve, and it's not going to take too much improvement for Victim of the Night to make him a major player in race 9. I'll throw the 6 in there. The first are for Brittany Russell. I think the 9's live. It's kin to a debut runner. Imagine he's just haven't won a lot first time out in the 1, real quick, on the mark. Hammy Smith. At this level, sometimes it's a little deadly. I like the name On the Mark. My man Lee Christian down in South Carolina. I think this horse is named after. I did a radio show, was a guest one time. I think Robin down in Alabama. So if you're ever down there listening to Tune, Fox Sports down there, he's got a radio show On the Mark. Check it out. Good luck to those guys right here today.
Yeah, just taking a look at that Victim of the Night, I wanted to say I am going to be really interested in that horse as a 3-year-old. I think just from watching the way that horse moves, I think he has some growing up to do.
Yeah,
but Keith, you still 5, 4, 6, 9. I go 6, 9, 7, 4. Let's take a look and get a recap of what happened yesterday in the lightning round. Well, Angel Cruz had 4 wins yesterday. How does that line him up? That lines him up just in the middle. J-Ron Barbosa still flying hot with 29 wins, leading this meet. Horacio Caramonis right behind him with a solid 23. But Angel Cruz, 4 wins yesterday. That was very, very nice, Keith.
Super impressive. Got horses to relax just off the pace, made the right move, pushed the right buttons, and got it done. So you love it.
He was
when
sitting on push button horses yesterday, but you have to do it.
He
You
scored
have
at
to
some
do
prices,
it
9-2, 6-1, 5, 6-1.
There was an 11. It was an $11.
Yeah.
I think his longest price was $11.60. So well done to a nice day yesterday to Angel Cruz and Toledo and Russell. Not too far behind with 17 and 15 wins to go. But let's talk about the stakes yesterday. Those lined up. We saw some were expected, some weren't so expected. We're taking a look as Twice as Sweet, Brendan Walsh, Fergal Lynch, and after the race and after the interview, Fergal just said this filly was just ready to go. She's pretty push button as well, like her for turf or dirt. Hope that we can see her back again. Recruiter on the outside with the speed for Cal Lynch. This is also a bit Cal Lynch season. That was that horse's 3rd or 4th start. And then, of course, Hybrid Eclipse, a bit of not quite a surprise, but if you take a look at the 3 and the 8, that 8 is the Hybrid Eclipse was the smallest filly in the field, and the 3 she was this big looming distance type looking filly, and then you have Hybrid Eclipse who could either fit. by looks alone in a sprint or going around 2 turns. But she's gritty. She gets the job done. Happy to be back on her home ground of Laurel Park.
It's a good ride by Sheldon right there.
Yes.
She kind of lunged a little bit to the break. He settled her, let things develop up front. He kind of worked down inside 3/8, back outside, and split rivals with a good run. And she finished very well to the wire. Real quick buyers I'll give you is Twice as Sweet 72, Recruiter 84,
Wow.
Hybrid Eclipse 80. There you go. Toy Drive. Let's go.
Toy Drive. Let's take a look. Just wanted to highlight and let you guys know that the Toy Drive, let's see. Those who participate must submit the names of the children to Diana by Friday, November 18th in order to participate in this year's event. It was really nice to see last year, MTHA last year had owners and trainers who contributed toys or money. Victor Carrasco, Bo Cavell with High-Low Auto Sales, who donated 8 new children's bicycles, and the MJC and Laurel patrons donated toys. But Victor, King Amongst Men, helping out with that toy drive. So again, get your information so your kids can participate by November 18th.
Okay.
We are going to head over to Dave Rodman for some changes and scratches.
All right, good luck.